Hey everybody, this is Miss Taylor, and we're going to be going over how to find out the measure of your angle that's passing through a circle. Okay, so what we're going to need to talk about first is you need to know that a whole circle, even though you might not think of it as an angle because it doesn't have a vertex, is 360 degrees. Okay, so if you pass through a whole circle, an angle passes through a whole circle, it's 360 degrees. So you can see I've made some notes down here. We're going to find out the different measure of all these fractional angles in a circle. So a whole fraction is 360 degrees and obviously would look like a circle. So now let's talk about what 1/4 of the circle would look like. And you're gonna have to bear with me here. I'm gonna do my best to draw. This would be about passing through 1/4 of a circle. That's really nothing new. We know how to partition a shape into fourths. And so this would be the 1/4, and it should look familiar to you because it is a right angle. So you again should know how many degrees that angle is, but we're going to go through how you would find it. So if this is 1/4 of a circle, I'm going to figure out how big that angle is by taking 360, the whole circle, and dividing it by 4. And why would I divide it by 4? Because my denominator here is 4, and there are 4 equal pieces in this circle. So 1/4 would be worth 360 divided by 4. And I'm going to go over to a whiteboard now so that I have a little bit more room. And remember that you can pause this video at any point if something is a little bit difficult for you. So 360 divided by 4. My 4 over here, my 360 inside. And I'm going to list my multiples of 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, and oh, there we are. Don't even have to get near it. I got to exactly that. So 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I'm not really multiplying because this is not really 36. It's 36 tens. So I'm not really going to multiply by 9. I'm going to multiply by 9 tens. I'm going to subtract 360, and of course I'm left with 0. So 360 divided by 4 is 90, which is what a right angle measures. So I'm going to come back over here. So this passes through 90 degrees. So I'm going to get my different color here. So 1/4 of a circle is going to be a 90-degree angle. Now let's erase this and talk about 1/2 of the circle. Okay, that's pretty easy to draw. And this is another thing that you might not be thinking of as an angle because you cannot see the vertex. But this is called a straight angle, and it takes up half the circle. So just like when we were finding 1/4 of the circle, we divided by 4. To find half of the circle, we're going to take 360 and divide it by 8. I'm sorry. Divide it by 2 because that's our denominator. So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to erase this. And we are going to now do 360 divided by 2 because that's how many of these angles would fit into 360 degrees. And I'm going to, again, I'm not going to list my multiples though because I can easily count by 2. So I'm going to count by 2 to get as close as I can to 36. And if I were to do that, 2, 4, 6, 8, count all the way up, I would be able to count 18 times. But again, this is not 36, it's 36 tens. So I'm not going to multiply by 18, I'm going to multiply by 18 tens, and that gives me exactly 360. So how much does an angle taking up half a circle measure? It measures 180 degrees. So let me write that in here, 180 degrees, and that's a straight angle. Easy to remember because it's straight. Now we're going to look at this last one that I have marked here, 3/4. So now this might be kind of weird for you to conceptualize, but if you are able to find 1/4 of the circle, you can find 3/4 because it is the rest of the circle. So it's going to come over here. Now this looks like just another right angle, right? But we're actually talking about this space, this whole big space, not this space, because this space would be 90 degrees, but we're talking about this right here. So this is where it gets a little tricky, because you can see that the denominator is 4. So you think, okay, well, we'll do 360 divided by 4. And that is true. But I don't just have 1/4, I have 3/4. So now the good news is I don't have to divide again, because I know that 1/4 is 90, right? So if I have 3 90-degree angles, what does that sound like? Repeated addition or multiplication? 90 times 3 is 270. So 3/4, if an angle covers 3/4 of a circle, it is 270 degrees. Again, I'm just taking my 360 and divided by my denominator. And in some cases, like 3/4, I have to add multiple times. The video that you will see tomorrow will go over a little bit more in depth about how to find different angle measures, and if the numerator is not 1, how we can go about finding that. So I hope this was helpful. If you need to go back and look at my division again, or look at how I drew the angles, just rewind the video and take your notes. Have a great day, guys.